My first dream, the gypsy came at my house to pick me up. Once I came back from the academies, there's a gypsy, army gypsy waiting for me and I'm sitting. So that happened.
So to join an army, is there any kind of religion?
Religion doesn't matter in Indian army.
How important is brotherhood?
I have to leave my family, everyone on him and just go on a war. I can do that.
There must be a lot of lifestyle changes after leaving the army.
Once I joined the corporate lifestyle, it is a routine.
Welcome to Dopamine High.
Thank you. Thank you for calling.
How are you feeling today?
I don't know, this is the first time I'm doing it. So I am a bit nervous. I don't know why. But yeah, that's how it is.
For all those people who don't know who you are, can you please introduce yourself for us?
I'm a typical Jammu boy. I did my schooling from MHS in Nagpuri. And then I did my engineering from Kurukshetra University. Post which I joined Army, Indian Army. And I did my training from OTA Chennai. Post which I was fortunate enough to join Sikh Infantry Regiment, which is an infantry regiment. And then I was with Sikh Regiment for about 11 years. In between, I had this, I wanted to join NSG, which is a Black Hat Commando force, for which I volunteered and I served in NSG for about 2.5 years. Post my stint with the army, I did a small stint with the BCCI. It was not actually on the rolls of BCCI, it was with G4S, where we did T20 World Cup 2021.
Wow.
It was supposed to happen in India, but because of COVID, it got transferred to Dubai. So I was handling the security there as part of the team. And post which I'm doing some corporate stint with various companies.
From being a B.Tech student, how did army come into the picture?
So army was the only thing in my mind when I was in school also. I would see where I live, there is a cantonment near to it. So I used to see a lot of army officers in their gypsies with their weapons. So I always visualized myself being an army officer. So it was always there. I had applied for, I have in fact given a exam. It was a UPSC exam for NDA, where if you clear the exam, you have a SSB, and then you, if you get selected, you go to NDA, which is the National Defense Academy. Unfortunately, I couldn't clear it, and I had a plan B. Plan B was I had given a AIEEE exam then, and I was getting a decent university engineering college in Haryana, which I then joined, and I got a information technology stream in that. So I was studying B.Tech, but in my mind it was always there that I want to join army. So I was preparing for army, and then this thing happened where we had a UES entry scheme. As part of it, the Indian Army, few officers had come to our college and they interviewed us. I also gave an interview, and within about 2 months I got a call, SSB call, and then I gave the SSB, which I was preparing, by the way, and then I was able to clear my SSB. It was my first attempt. It was Allahabad SSB board, and as soon as my college finished, I was into OTA, and that's how my army journey started.
Lovely. How is life as an army officer?
So army has its own lifestyle.
Right.
One, when you are in cantonments, you are living in a, we say it, a peace location. So once you're living in a peace location, you have your whole day planned in a way where you would be doing, as an officer, you would be doing physical activities also, in terms of, you know, आप सुबह PT के लिए जाओगे, आप अपने बॉयज़ के साथ, you know, आपकी कंपनी में जो, so each infantry battalion, has about 6 companies, and each company would have about 120 boys, and there are 2 officers, generally a lieutenant or a captain who is the company 2IC, second in command, and a major or a lieutenant colonel who would be the company commander.
What about mental training?
See, mentally you have to be very tough.
Yes.
that so some people ask me that I have done 2 commando courses. So one is so there are 2 commando courses that I've done. One is a mandatory commando course which all infantry officers have to do. That happens in Belgaum, which is in Karnataka. It's a 35 days commando course, and I've also done a NSG probation, which is about 84 days, which is around 3 months. So when people ask me what is more difficult, to be physically fit and to face the physical challenges or clear the physical tests, or the mental, I would always say that the most difficult part, even if we are living a life, a normal life, is to be mentally more fit and stable than being physically fit. Your body will start reacting and will become physically fit over a period of time if you work on it, but we generally don't work on our mental fitness, and because of which we generally tend to become mentally little not there. Our state of mind is not there all the time because we don't obviously train for it. So it is very important, and especially as an officer who is leading about 120 men in the war, in the conflict zone, to be mentally very strong, because not only are you the ones who are taking care of those 120 boys, but unki families bhi.
Yes.
You know that they are married, they have kids, and one aap jo decision de rahe ho, what you are telling them to do, in case something happens to that person, you are liable to answer to the family as well, and that tells you to be keep your mental state quite high. So it's very important to be mentally.
So is there some kind of activities that you do to keep your mental?
Not really. There are no exercises as such. I think one of the important selection criteria of SSB, which nobody talks about, is how mentally fit the individual is. So when you go for a SSB, जब आप SSB के लिए जाते हो, क्यों कहते हैं कि SSB is very difficult? About 1,000 of people appear, and maybe 1 or 2 per guy would just get selected out of all of them, is because there are different selection criteria on which they are judging you, they are testing you, and one of the most important aspect out of it is how mentally fit or robust the individual is.
I have some basic questions. So to join an army, is there any kind of religion which comes in place?
Not at all. There is absolutely, I don't know why people have this misconception. People keep asking me, do you have to be from a specific religion to join Indian Army? Or they also ask me how much important religion is for Indian Army. All I can tell you is that religion doesn't matter in Indian Army. We have religion-based regiments. Like I come from a Sikh Light Infantry battalion or a regiment, which is basically the troops are all Khalsas. They are all Sardars. So we have regiments based on religion. Like we have Rajput rifles, then we have Rajput regiments, then we have Jat regiments, Dogra regiments. So the men who are part of the regiments are from a specific religion. The officers who join can be from
any religion.
They can be from any religion, but they make sure the way they are trained that once they join the army, they join the regiment, they become part of that religion only. So when I joined Sikhlai regiment as an officer, I was made sure I was given a kada, I was given a karpan, and so
you have to follow their norms.
If you don't belong to that religion in which you are, you now are going to command the people of, then there's no point. So that's how it is. But there are regiments which are mixed, and they have people from all the religions, officers from all the religion. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, आपको training में एक ही चीज सिखाई जाती है, that we are Indians.
Talking about diet and food, does the person have to have a particular diet, or in terms of vegetarian or non-vegetarian, can a vegetarian be a part of Indian Army?
Yeah, absolutely. If you are a vegetarian and you don't want to eat non-veg, you can still join army. I keep people keep asking me this as well, ki हम वेजिटेरियन है, हमने लाइफ में कभी नॉन वेज नहीं खाया, हमने अंडा भी नहीं खाया है कभी. क्या मैं आर्मी में ट्रेनिंग करूँगा तो मैं पास कर पाऊँगा वो ट्रेनिंग? Yes, you can. And somebody who's a vegetarian and he wants to continue, or she wants to continue to be a vegetarian, you can. There is no problem in it.
What is the difference between a short service and a long-term service?
See, while you are serving the nation, there is no difference. You are treated equally. For 10 years, all your promotions, all your perks, privileges are as same as somebody who is a permanent commission. Only thing is, if you are leaving after 10 years, you would not get pension. While as a permanent commission, if you leave after 20 years, you will get pension, which is, obviously everybody would want to have it moving forward in life. So that's the only difference that I could see between a short service and a permanent commission.
But
Rest everything
all
remains same.
perks are same.
Yes, once you retire after short service, you are given a ex-serviceman quota. Like I have a ex-serviceman quota. So
What is that? Can you explain?
So there are certain schemes which keep coming up for ex-servicemen and for their children as well. So there are colleges where ex-servicemen children would get some quota. Engineering colleges, army engineering colleges. Also, you get some medical benefits. So that a permanent and a short service would get. Only major difference is the pensions which permanent commissions would get, and not the short service.
What is the biggest misconception that people have about clearing SSB?
I think I would say people think that you have to be extremely or physically fit. People think that आपको आर्मी स्टैंडर्ड्स वाली फिजिकल फिटनेस चाहिए SSB क्लियर करने के लिए, which is, or you have to be from a specific religion to clear SSB. I think both of them are not true. You don't have to be physically extremely fit, or you don't have to have army standards to clear SSB. But obviously, if you are appearing for a SSB interview, which is for 5 days, people see you and test you on that part as well. Because if you tell an interviewer that it was your dream to join army and you are not physically fit, obviously both things don't match.
Right.
And people see that you are not interested. You want it, but you haven't worked hard for it. So then it gets difficult for you to clear it. But even if you are in a normal shape, you do normal physical activities, you play group games, and that comes out during your interviews, I think that's enough. You don't have to be army physically fit to clear SSB. You have to be normal physically fit as a normal human being who can run, who can play games. Just basic physical fitness when you're going and giving an SSB.
Is there a particular height or weight that you should maintain?
Yes, there is. So in the SSB, they don't check your height and weight. So once you clear your SSB,
Right.
there is a medical board that happens. And you have to clear that medical board to finally get a training call. So the weight, the obviously height they check. They have this criteria. I don't remember how much is the height criteria that is available on open source, but they don't check on weight. They check on height. Their minimum height for ladies and minimal height for gents. That is the only thing they check when you enter the SSB center.
Right.
But once you clear the SSB, you go to a medical board, which almost takes about 3 to 4 years, where you've been medically checked. That time, if you are overweight, they would give you a temporary medically unfit, and they will also give you about 3 months to reduce your weight or bring your weight under the limit, depending on what the army chart. That you've been given 3 months. You have cleared your SSB. आपको 3 महीने मिलते हैं. आप इस 3 महीने में अपना weight जितना required है, if you do it, you will be called back for your medical tests, clear it, and you join the academy.
Is English required to clear SSB?
Again, I would say it is not mandatory. ऐसा कुछ mandate नहीं है कि आपको English बोलनी है और you should be very fluent. You are fluent in English. ऐसा कोई requirement नहीं है. But again, it also depends on what kind of entry scheme you are coming from. If, for example, you are coming from a 10+2 12th वाला entry scheme के बाद आ रहे हो, so the expectations are a bit lower ki, he's coming from
just passed
from school
yes.
and probably he's from a Hindi medium, so over a period of time NDA में सिखा देंगे इसको English, not a big deal. But if you say that you are coming after a graduation from a English medium and आपको basic English नहीं आती है, that doesn't mean you are not been tested for English. You've been tested for your attitude, that you were in a college which was a English medium. Over a period of 3-4 years, you couldn't learn basic English, then it becomes a problem. Also, English is something which is, spoken worldwide. It is the most spoken language in the world. So once you become an officer, you go as a defense attaché outside India, you are expected to speak English. So once you are in the academy or once you are being trained, it becomes a part of it where you are made to speak in English, or you made to understand English, because वो आपके काम आएगी बाद में.
Can you tell us a little bit about OTA days, and is the training is it difficult? Is it brutal?
So it's a officer training academy based out of Chennai. So the weather was definitely brutal, and all of us who were coming to OTA, who joined OTA, are they have done their graduation. If they're coming through a technical entry, they would have done 4 years of graduation from colleges. If you are coming through a normal non-tech SSC, short service scheme, you would have done three years of graduation as well. And then there are it is both for men as well as women. OTA trains both, and once you pass out from OTA, you become lady officers and you become men as officers. So the weather was always a challenge, and then the other challenge was since you are coming from college, you are not that so going to a NDA after 12th, you haven't seen outside world as much as you have seen once you have done a graduation.
Agree.
Like, you are in school, you are in a closed environment, you would generally go back home, you are with your parents, you have few friends, and then you are entering academy. So to mold somebody who is coming out of who is joining the academy after 12th is easier as somebody who is a 18 or a 19-year-old, is easier as compared to somebody who has done an engineering, already done, some of us had already worked outside. Short service people had worked outside also after college, and then they have given this exam and then joined army. So to mold them into something which is little different from the life they were living outside, it's little difficult. And as a young child, you might not just question everything.
Right.
You might just not question all the ways and means. But since you have seen things outside, and then your senior in the academy would say something and you would question that, why am I supposed to do it, or why am I supposed to. So that sudden shift from college to OTA was a little difficult. But again, it's a mindset. Once you have decided it that you have to do it, then I think it happens.
What was the most difficult punishment out of all?
If you ask anybody, I think any officer who you will ask this question would say being sleep deprived. Yeah, so once you enter any academy or once you enter any commando course, it is made sure that you obviously your routine is changed. You wake up early in the morning and there are a lot of things that you have to do. You are also made sure that you are sleep deprived, and then you are made to train. And your body is the weakest when your mind is not with your body. And if you are sleep deprived, your mind over a period of time, it stops thinking, it stops listening to you. And that is, I think, so there were days when we were in the junior term and our seniors would just keep us awake the whole night, and in the morning we would again have to go for a run and everything. I think those days were the most difficult part of the punishment and the training.
So is it very common?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like even if you haven't even so again, it's part of the training. Your seniors are supposed, आपका जो senior है, so once you join OTA, you don't get punishments initially. It is your senior buddy, the one who has already completed 6 months and now they have become your seniors. The one who is allotted to you, he is being punished by the officers training. So there are officers of the rank of captains and majors who would be in the academy, instructors training. So initially, if as a first first 6 months, if my dress is not proper or if my conduct is not proper, या मैं mess में proper से
तरीके से
नहीं खा रहा हूँ, हाथ से खा रहा हूँ, and I've been caught, so I will not be questioned. या जो officer है वो मुझे punish नहीं करेगा, he will call my senior और उसको punish करेगा.
Okay.
And then the senior would come back to the lines where we would stay, and then he will give punishment to us. So that's how it works.
Talking about mess, are these little things very important?
Yeah, absolutely. They're important. So army teaches you both. I mean, the both ways of life. You would just be sitting in a jungle, and you will be eating whatever is available, without even you अपने हाथ भी नहीं धोए होंगे आप. You would not have taken bath for like 3-4 days also. And then army also teaches you how to have a 7-course meal with the music on, and you have to close your meal by the time the music stops, and the next meal comes. So you get to see both lives when you are in the army.
Does OTA teach you to deal with pain, resilience, all of these?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it is part of the academy training, but one thing that I learned from academy was how mentally tough women are. I mean, they're doing the same stuff, same training which we were doing. Obviously, the physical standards for a woman would be different from men. If we have to clear a run in 23 minutes, they would have to do it in probably 20. I don't remember the exact timings, but I know for a fact that the physical standards were obviously different, but mentally I think they'd do more.
They would outbeat you guys.
Outbeat us any time of the day, because I'll give you, like, they would have to hold the same weapon, which is about 5 kgs, with a weight that guy would have to do it, and then they would have to run those 5 kilometers, which we will have to do it, obviously in a different standard, but they will still have to do it. And then there are a lot of other punishments which would be same for them, for us, and the kind of heat, and still they're so resilient and they were so focused about it. I realized that though physically we are different, but mentally women are really strong. Yeah.
How important is brotherhood in armed forces?
I think it is everything. Brotherhood is something which is unsaid. It is, you are trained on it. Like I told you, punishments. अगर मैंने गलती की है तो punishment ऐसा नहीं है सिर्फ मुझे मिलेगा. All my clan,
yes,
my seniors would give punishment to all my clan. Everyone in my who belong to my level in the academy, or my platoon, or my this thing, you all will be punished. It is not that only I will be punished. And I mean, brotherhood is something, that if my brother from the army is there and I have to leave my family, everyone on him, and just go on a war, I can do that. So brotherhood, I think, is everything in the army. I know that for a fact that I'm out of the army, but मुझे कोई काम है, I have any doubts, I just have to give a call to my people in the army, my brothers in the army, and it will be done. Even if I have not spoken to that officer who is still serving, and all my colleagues now are almost colonel ranks. So even if I have not spoken to him for a year or 2 years, even if I have not wished him on his promotion, I just have to call him, tell him this has to be done. I know for a fact it will be done.
What sacrifice have you made to be in army, and how much has it affected you emotionally?
Not really. I don't think I would say that I have sacrificed something to be in the army. I wanted to be in the army. That is why I chose it. There are sacrifices in terms of, I joined the army when I was 21, and when by the time uh, I got my release, I was about 32. So there are things that you miss, but I won't call them sacrifices. That was part of my contract, I would say. So starting, I would say there are officers, then so there are few of them who couldn't even go to their marriages. Not only officers, jawans also. Everyone in the army. I have seen myself. The person was supposed to go for his marriage. He had applied for 30 days leave. He everything was approved, and then there was this one of the operations that happened, and leaves got cancelled, and finally he was marrying on a video call. So I have seen
Oh
that
my
as well.
god.
So these are the kind of sacrifices that you have to make when you join army, but then you know it. It is not that ये कुछ अचानक से आया है आपकी लाइफ में, and now you have to, it can happen to you. There are so many jawans, officers who don't see their newborn for about 7 months. You have planned it, you want to go, and before you reach, the child is already born. So one of my very close, my immediate junior in the unit, he had planned everything, but unfortunately his wife delivered
Early.
about 7-8 days early. He was on a flight when the delivery happened. Once he landed, he called me up. He said, "It's already done," and my wife is telling me, "Just go back." So that's how it is. You miss a lot of family functions.
Right.
You miss obviously you miss the griefs as well. But then this is the part of army life. You choose it. So
If I may ask, were you married when you were in the army?
I got married when while I was serving in the army, but I wasn't married when I joined army.
So while you were serving, you were married. How difficult was it to leave your wife behind?
So I'm lucky enough that I've been so before marriage also I knew my wife. So we've been in a long distance relationship for quite so many years that this came naturally to us. Being apart for 3-4 months and then meeting again was part of our relationship before marriage as well. So it wasn't difficult, but I think the things changed when I was blessed with my first daughter. Then somehow I didn't want to leave my house.
Yeah.
I always wanted to come back wherever I am. I always wanted to come back in the evening.
Right.
So that's how things changed when my first one was born. But before that, I don't think it was difficult.
What are the silent battles that you go through?
See, as an officer, you are with the boys. You are with the boys. You are part of them. And the good thing about Indian Army is that you will always, unlike certain other armies, you are there with the boys all the time. When हम LC पे भी होते हैं, line of control पे भी होते हैं, the other side doesn't have officers on the line. They are always behind the doors. But our side, the officers will lead with the men, and you are part of. You are struggling with certain things, maybe emotionally or physically or some other thing, or career-wise. You're part of that team, but then you are leading them also. So you can't share those problems with the boys you are going to command. If you show your weak side to the boys you are commanding, then it gets difficult to command them. And अगर आप दिखा रहे हो वो, तो अगला भी सोचेगा कि he is not in that state of mind that I should listen to everything what he is saying.
So how did NST happen to you?
So while I was in OTA, so NSG has a hub in Chennai. So there were these officers from NSG wearing black uniform, and they came to OTA for some drill and some training. And I saw them, and I thought I would want to wear the black uniform one day. So I decided कि मैं कभी ना कभी लाइफ में NSG के लिए पक्का volunteer करूँगा. But that was just back in my mind. And then when my first posting happened in Nowshera, and I was in the Nowshera city, मैं वहाँ पे अपनी gypsy में with my boys मैं घूम रहा था. And at one of the shops we stopped. We wanted to buy certain things, and the shop belonged to a to a Gupta person. So he read my name tag and he said, "आप गुप्ता हो?" मैंने कहा, "हाँ मैं गुप्ता हूँ." So he said that गुप्तास भी आर्मी में जाते हैं क्या? And that was a trigger for me. Why did he say like this? I mean, anyone can go anywhere. It is all mental and it is all in the mind. And over a period of time, I realized there was this thinking where, you know, people would think that we as Guptas or as Mahajans or as they call it Banyas, we can't join the army. So I made sure for this fact that I will volunteer for NSG. I will join, and NSG is one of the elite forces of India. So Special Forces of India. So I thought that I will join it. I will prove it that, you know, it is all in your mind. So जब हम NSG का प्रोविजन क्लियर कर लेते हैं एंड वी गो टू आवर यूनिट्स, तो हम लोगों को ये कैप मिलता है, दिस कैप वी गेट, एंड एवरीवन, यू नो, दे गेट अ नेम हेयर, लाइक कैन वी शो दिस इन कैमरा? सो हर कोई यहाँ पे नाम अपना लिखवाता है, लाइक आई वाज सपोज्ड टू राइट वासु,
so you got Gupta.
but I made sure, you know, back in 2016 that I get a Gupta written here. And fortunately, you know what happened, I got a instructor grading in NSG, and then I was posted in, as an instructor. So then I got to see people from all, you know, caste, creed and religion, all kind of, you know, so-called everyone who used to tell that we are from, you know, the fighter caste or something. And then I trained a lot of them, and then I it made sure that ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है, you know. There were officers from so-called, you know, fighter caste who were not able to do physically well, and there were people from normal, you know, castes and creeds also who were doing quite well. So it made me sure कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, and it is for everyone. There is no religion, there is no caste, there is no creed. If it's all in your mind, अगर आपने decide कर लिया है and you are putting the hard work, थोड़ा सा लग तो चाहिए. If that is there, you will do it. You will reach your aim.
How has NSG training instructor changed you as a person?
It didn't change me as a person. Only thing, something which my boss also used to tell me that was missing in me. I think after I became an NSG instructor, और मैंने काफ़ी लोगों को train किया, both the officers and the jawans. Empathy was one thing that I think my boss also used to tell me was missing in me. तो empathy एक चीज़ है जो मेरे में I got to understand what empathy is and why was it missing in me. See, everyone is not same.
Right.
If I am physically fit or I am naturally fit और मेरा background ऐसा है कि मेरे ऊपर और कोई pressure नहीं है, maybe the other person who's training with you is not like that. He has a lot of pressure from home also, or he's not economically that stable, और physically उसको life में इतना कभी time ही नहीं मिला, यहाँ challenges ही इतने थे कि वो कभी भी physically उतना time नहीं दे पाया अपने आप को fit रहने के लिए. So you have to have empathy, not sympathy. I would never have a sympathy for someone, but I will always have empathy. And this I learned while I was instructor in NSG, that not everyone is same.
If you see somebody, what qualities can you make out by just looking at that person?
Everyone is different. Everyone has different qualities. The standout quality for me, who I think can be an officer or can be in a special force, would be adaptability. आप ambiguity के साथ कैसे deal करते हो is very important if you want to be in special forces. I'll just give you an example. अभी नीट का पेपर जो है, that quite unfortunate, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था, लीक हो गया. Now somebody who is ambiguity को अच्छे से डील कर सकता है, how she is able to deal with ambiguity, will see it as an opportunity and will say कि मेरे को और टाइम मिल गया प्रिपेयर करने के लिए, I'm happy. And then she knows कि अब इसके बारे में कुछ नहीं किया जा सकता, ये हो गया है.
Right.
There's no point crying about it. Let's prepare for it in a better way. कुछ missing था, मैं उसमें और ध्यान दे सकता हूँ. So that person, irrespective वो अगली बार नीट का एग्जाम क्लियर करे या ना करे, she is going to do well in life.
How was your first posting like emotionally?
See, I was very happy that I was coming to Nowshera. Everybody told me it's my home posting. वो अलग बात है कि home posting तो नहीं था, Jammu se Nowshera is about, that time it used to take about 4 hours, and then and the line of control is further 2 hours ahead of, and then you have to walk to the post, which is again 1.5 hours. So it was like 8-9 hours of journey from the home, and obviously you're not getting leaves. But I was happy because in the academy I was from a Nowshera company. So there are different companies you go to, and I was in the Nowshera company, and then I was coming to a Nowshera sector. So I was genuinely very happy that the company I was part of during the academy, so I've heard about Nowshera a lot, being a Nowsherian in the academy, कि नौशेरा में क्या ऐसा हुआ था कि अकेडमी में एक कंपनी का नाम नौशेरा पड़ा हुआ, 65 की वॉर में, 71 की वॉर में नौशेरा में क्या चीज़ हुई थी. सो आई वॉज वेरी एक्साइटेड. आई ऑलरेडी न्यू ऑल, वहाँ पे जांगड़ है, लाम है, कुरेटा इज ऑन द अदर साइड, कलाल है. सो आई न्यू द प्लेस, एंड विजुअली आई हैड thought about it कि वहाँ पे कैसा हुआ होगा उस टाइम पे. So when I got my first posting, so I was told my unit is in Nowshera. I was very excited, and I was like this young officer who was joining, 21 years old, who was joining, and so my first dream, the gypsy came at my house to pick me up. Since my house was here, so once I came back from the academy, so there was this gypsy, and I had always imagined, Jammu railway station, there's a gypsy, army gypsy standing for me, waiting for me, and I'm sitting. So that happened. So it was like a dream come true for me. And then I told them that I want to go home, visit my home once. They said, no, not happening. I said, I haven't gone home for about 3-4 months now from academy. Obviously, I met my parents at the academy during the papering, and then my parents went. We had to go for some induction training. So by the time I was at Jammu airport, Jammu railway station, and then the gypsy was there. Everything was nice. And then I said, I just have to meet my parents for 10 minutes. They said adjutant. So the unit is, there is this adjutant in the unit who would take all the calls. So adjutant साहब ने बोला, he was a senior major. Adjutant साहब ने बोला, साहब को सीधा unit लेके आओ. I said, only 5 minutes. They said, no, not happening. साहब से बात कर लो आप. As a young lieutenant, I don't think I could have spoken to a senior major that time. So I said, okay, let's go. So that's how the journey started. By the time I reached, it was already, I think, evening 6-7 o'clock. And then I was told, pick up your luggage. So you have this 1 month, 2 months of probation time where you are not supposed to enter the officers' mess, and you have to live with the Jawans in the lines. And
why is that so?
So that you know them personally, because you're going to command them afterwards, and understand their problems and understand their job also. Like tomorrow, if I'm going to command a Sipahi, he has given a night duty, then in the morning he is doing some job, then in the afternoon. Understand their routine so that you understand how packed they are also. तो कभी उनसे कभी कोई गलती भी हो जाए तो you have तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए कि क्यों वो गलती हुई है. जब आपने वो काम खुद किया ही नहीं है तो आप कैसे जज, आप सिर्फ यही बोल पाओगे कि क्यों तूने ये गलती की. बट व्हेन यू हैव डन इट योरसेल्फ, यू नो कि इस रीज़न की वजह से ऐसा हो सकता है. सो आई रीच्ड, and then I was told to go, and I had to walk all the way, which took about 1.5. So there was this fence. So then you had to cross. Once you have crossed the fence, it is all fighting zone, because सामने बिल्कुल पाकिस्तान था and इस तरफ हम थे. So it was a tiring one the first day, but अच्छा था. It was nice.
One question I have, I was talking to one of the counselors who was dealing with army officers, and what I heard from her was there were a lot of suicidal cases which were increasing, and cheating cases. So it's all interlinked. That you find out that somebody's cheating, and then the officer is sad, break up, whatever, and then it is leading to suicidal thoughts. I'm not saying that they are suiciding, but they have suicidal thoughts. So what would you say to those people?
I would say this is so unfortunate. As an officer, if you have a suicidal kind of tendency, it is so unfortunate, because at the first place आप select ही इसीलिए हुए थे कि आप लाइफ को हमेशा एक पॉजिटिव वे में देखोगे. आप कभी भी इसलिए select नहीं हुए थे कि अगर कभी लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम आई और somebody has backstab you, तो आप you will have suicidal kind of. My only suggestion to them is just live life. You have to live life irrespective whether the other person you trusted uh, was not the same kind of person that you thought that person will be. You have to live your life, and army has already given you a lifestyle. Keep yourself busy. Suicide is for people who are weak, and again, don't force it on the other person. If the other person has cheated on you, or the other person has said that I want to break up with you, I mean, obviously, since you love them, you would try once or twice. But if it is not there, just live it. If it wasn't supposed to be, it wasn't supposed to be. You have to, have your own life.
But why do you think cheating is increasing? Uh, of course, in this generation,
I don't think it is. We should call it cheating. It is more about availability. I strongly feel that once you're the kind of job you are doing, you will not be available all the time. And the kind of society we are living in right now, the availability matters to a lot of people. A lot of women, a lot of men, they want their partner to be available all the time, or they feel that they are missing out on something, which is actually not true. If you're busy in your life, and if you are doing your own thing, um, I think it shouldn't happen. But yeah, availability is something which non-availability is something which leads to, I think, this more.
you have retired from the army. How has the transition been from army officer to corporate life?
So yeah, it was quite difficult for me to first, decide and mm, be sure about it, that this, that I would be getting out of my dream job, something that I have loved doing over a period of time, 11 years of, I would say, adventure, challenges, obviously long distances of relationships with parents also, with wife also, and uniform. And then you are now a senior, like I was the second senior officer in my battalion when I was getting released. So you are at a position also. 1 year more, if I would have served, I would have become lieutenant colonel. So this all in your mind, and then you are thinking about the most important thing that matters to you that time. Like for me was, my elder daughter, which I was again posted in field. I was again in Nowshera. So my journey started from Nowshera and my journey ended at Nowshera, and I was doing the same thing which I was doing as a young lieutenant. I was again going, since I was part of the induction, my battalion was getting inducted into Nowshera, and same thing, same mountains. I knew the kind of difficulties I would have to face again, and more than difficulties, I knew for a fact that there would be times when I would desperately want to go home, and I would not able to go because I had seen that place before, and I knew how things work here. So then I took this decision. Obviously, it was emotional for me. But the transition, with the grace of God, and obviously I would say again, my positive mindset, transition was very smooth. So I was, as I said, I left the army, and the day I left, a week after, I was in Dubai doing this T20 World Cup, which was again an experience of life. Then I was working in one of the MNCs based out of Mumbai. And then I always wanted to come back home because my parents were alone here. So then I got opportunity to work here. So yeah, the transition has been absolutely smooth, and I would always thank God for everything God has given me till now.
So there must be a lot of lifestyle changes after leaving the army. So how difficult, or how has it been? How have you managed?
So जब आप आर्मी में होते हो ना, आप ये चीज़ सोचते नहीं हो, बट आपके साथ एक बड़ी अच्छी चीज़ हो रही होती है कि आप ना एडवेंचर कर रहे होते हो लाइफ में। आप फॉर एग्जांपल, मैं जब लेह में पोस्टेड था, तो एज टूरिस्ट हम सिर्फ ले जाएंगे, या जो you will be told to go to Nubra, or you will be told to go to Pangong. So अभी हेनले तक स्टार ग्रेजिंग के लिए लोग जा रहे हैं. बट व्हेन यू आर पार्ट ऑफ द आर्मी, यू डोंट रियलाइज कि आप ऐसी अनटच्ड प्लेसेस पे जाते हो और रहते हो, that वो आपकी, since you are an adventure lover, you are doing it as part of your job.
Right.
So we would have stayed, even if I talk about Leh only. So I'm not talking about my Rajasthan part of my career or the NSG part of my career. If I only talk about Leh, I have stayed in Leh Ladakh. I have stayed at places, camped at places. As a civilian, you would not get a chance to. Even if you go, you will not camp there. Obviously, you don't have that kind of admin support. You are camping out of there. You are training there. You are climbing mountains for fun, not for fun, maybe for your training purpose. At night, you are doing navigations, and the galaxy that people, the Milky Way that people want to see, especially come to Leh Ladakh for that. You would see it every day because you're camping at such places. So once there was this shift from army to civilian life, I think this was one thing that I started missing. I didn't realize it initially, but over a period of time when it was the same routine, getting up in the morning, exercising, going to office, coming back, spending some time with family. So it was a routine and then there was no change in that routine over a period of time. And then you realized in the army, you are traveling every 15-20 days. You are going for a camp, or you are going for a training or some studies, or when you are in field, there are different challenges that are there. And suddenly you realize there is a miss. So I made sure that, this one missing part, rest everything I think I felt was okay. But this one thing I thought that I should do something about it. So while I was in Dubai, it was all, it was all new experiences, going to different. So I have seen Sharjah ground from inside. I have seen Dubai ground, seen Abu Dhabi. So that was again an experience and an adventure. But once I joined the corporate lifestyle, I realized, I thought that it is a routine. I have become a part of a routine, and there is no this thing. So I started searching, and then in Mumbai there are a lot of treks in and around Mumbai, and then I started doing it. I started going solo initially, but then my office people, they came to know about it, and then they were also very excited about it. So we ended up doing a lot of treks in and around Mumbai, mostly towards Lonavala, and then there were a lot of people who joined, trusting that I am the army officer and they will come back safely with me, not knowing that I have no idea about it. I am also going for the first time, but then it was fun, and people also realized that it should be part of routine. Maybe once in a month we should do it.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you for calling, and I hope that the message that I wanted to give, especially to Jammu youngsters, it goes:
like,
share,
subscribe
to Dopamine High.
Thank you.
Thank you.